You don't know, you damn well should know. My name is Rag Reynolds. I'm constantly telling people that women actually have more rights in the Western world than men. And people are always shocked when I say that, or anytime anyone else has ever said that, people always rush in and say, no, that's not true, women are oppressed, and women are this, and women are that, and feminism will fix it. And no, women have more rights than men in the Western world. And now I'm going to give you 12 rights that women have that men don't in the West. All of my sources are linked in an article I wrote, which is far more in depth than this video is going to be, and you will get that link to the article in the description below. Women have the right to genital integrity. Every day in the West, countless infant boys are forced into non-consensual circumcision. Meanwhile, female circumcision is an act that is entirely outlawed in the West. Women have the right to vote without agreeing to die. Back in the day when feminism started up and they were fighting for the right to vote, everyone thought, oh, they're doing a great thing fighting for this right. And you know, when they got that right to vote, it was a big moment for everyone, and they're like, yes, this is a great step forwards for gender equality, but no, that's not the case. You see, back in the day, everyone had the same rights to vote. And it wasn't due to gender. People got to vote based on how much property they owned. And some women would own more property than men. Some men didn't own any property. So some women would have multiple votes, whereas some men would have 0 votes. So what happened was, men were given the right to vote on the condition that they could be drafted to war. So all men were given the right to vote, but they were also forced to be on the draft. Then women come along, we want the vote, we want the vote, we want the vote. They get the vote for free. So women have this vote without having to be on the draft, whereas men only have the vote on the condition that they can be drafted to war. So really, women have the right to vote without agreeing to possibly die. Women have the right to choose parenthood. Women have 3 options to absolve themselves of all responsibilities for their child. Women can abort the child, they can put it up for adoption without notifying the father, or women can also surrender the child under safe haven laws and walk away from all responsibilities. Women cannot be forced into parenthood, but they can force men into financially supporting their reproductive choices. In many US states, men can actually be forced to pay for children that they didn't even biologically father. Just so long as the woman identifies a man as the father, he will be held responsible. Paternity fraud is legal. In no US state can the father remove all responsibilities to his child without first getting the agreement of the mother. Women have the right to be assumed caregivers for children. When parents split, current laws assume one primary caregiver, almost always a woman, and one tertiary caregiver, almost always a man. In order to win an equal or shared custody of the child, the tertiary caregiver must litigate to prove they are worthy of equal custody. A proposition that is not only very difficult to prove, but is also very expensive. The legal presumption of shared parenting upon divorce, that children have a legal right to an equal relationship with both their mother and their father following relationship breakdown, is strongly resisted by the National Organization for Women and other feminist organizations who know that women will almost always win custody of children under the default laws. In actual fact, men who can afford to pursue legal remedies and challenge primary custody stand a good chance of winning, because most women do not have the market cornered on loving or caring for children. So while the law does not specifically indicate that custody automatically is awarded to women, the de facto result of primary tertiary caregiver custody law is that women have a legal right to be assumed caregiver for their children. Men do not. Women have the right to call unwanted coerced sex rape. The original FBI definition of rape specifically states that women are the victims, excluding the possibility of the FBI ever recognizing male rape victims. Although the FBI did update this, although they did it in a way so that it includes only a small minority of male rape victims, but still excluded most real male rape victims by retaining the penetration clause. Penetration of any orifice must occur for rape to have happened. The FBI does, however, collect another set of statistics under the category of other sexual assault. It's the awkwardly named made to penetrate category, which includes men who are coerced, tricked, or bullied into penetrative sex with women they would otherwise not have had sex with. Women have the right to less jail time for committing the same crime as a man. Countless women are giving far lower jail sentences than men are for committing the same crime and sometimes worse crimes. And judges and other legal officials are pressured into looking at women with more sympathy and giving them those lesser convictions. Women have the right to not be assumed sexual predators. Women have the right to government departments that solely serve their interests, such as the Office on Violence Against Women and the Ministry for Women. Women have the right to government-enforced gender quotas. Women have the right to exclusive tax benefits for being a business owner simply because they're a woman. Women have the right to domestic violence shelters. Women have the right to not be assumed the primary aggressor in a domestic dispute. So there you have it, 12 rights that women have that men don't in the Western world. If you want to see sources for all of this, or read into it more, or read the rest of my thoughts, click on the article that I wrote, the link's in the description. I talk about feminism in depth and my opinions on it as a whole, and I go into far more detail on all these issues. Until next time, you're welcome, society.